Every week, my trash can mysteriously ended up knocked over, garbage everywhere. At first, I thought it was animals, but then my camera caught the truth. It was my HOA president. She thought she could control me, humiliate me, and make me bow down to her petty rules. But what she didn't know was that I had a trash can she would never forget. And the night she touched it, the entire neighborhood finally saw who she really was. When I moved into Willow Creek Estates, I thought I'd found the perfect neighborhood. The streets were wide and clean, the lawns were neat, and the houses looked like they belonged in a magazine. Driving through those iron gates, I felt proud of what I'd accomplished. Moving day, my golden retriever Max barked from the truck as I unloaded. Within the hour, James across the street brought beer. Linda next door offered cookies. They seemed genuinely kind and welcoming. For a moment, I believed I had found the suburban dream. But then I saw her. Karen. She stood at the cul-de-sac's end, arms crossed, clipboard in hand, eyes on me. She didn't wave or smile, just stared, as if cataloging violations. James noticed my glance and leaned over. That's Karen, HOA president. Be careful around her. She takes the rules a little too seriously. I laughed, thinking he was just joking. How bad could an HOA president really be? I'd read the handbook before I bought the place. The rules were strict. No overnight parking, no loud parties, no mismatched curtains. But I figured I could handle it. Later that evening, Karen finally approached. Her heels clicked against the pavement, her perfume strong enough to smell before she even reached me. You must be the new homeowner, she said flatly, not bothering with a smile. Yes, I'm Alex, I replied, extending my hand. Her handshake was limp like she was touching something she didn't want to. I assume you've read the HOA guidelines. We've had issues with new residents not taking them seriously. I expect you'll be different. I nodded politely. I've read them. Good, she said, tapping her clipboard. Because we don't tolerate violations here. Trash cans, for example, must be stored out of sight. We don't like eyesores. That was the first thing she brought up. No welcome, no congratulations, just trash cans. As she walked away, Max let out a low growl. Dogs always know. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but that was the start of a petty war I never saw coming. The first incident happened a week later on trash pickup day. I rolled my bin to the curb like everyone else. Nothing unusual, but when I came home from work, my trash can was on its side, bags ripped open, garbage scattered across the sidewalk. At first I thought it was raccoons, or maybe the wind. Annoying, but not impossible. I cleaned it up, grumbling under my breath about bad luck. But then James wandered over, lowering his voice. You know that wasn't the wind, right? Karen's been doing this to people. She doesn't like you, you're gonna know it. I frowned. Come on. She wouldn't actually knock over someone's trash. James gave a bitter laugh. You're new, you'll see. The following week, I didn't have to take his word for it. My doorbell camera caught her in broad daylight, walking up to my bin, glancing around and shoving it so hard it toppled and burst open. She didn't even hesitate. She just strutted away, smug as ever. The next morning, I confronted her. Karen, I saw you knock over my trash can. She crossed her arms and gave me a smile that wasn't really a smile. Trash cans are supposed to be hidden. Yours was an eyesore. It was trash day, I said. Doesn't matter. Rules are rules. You'll learn. And with that, she closed the door in my face. Her attitude really got to me. This wasn't about rules anymore. It was about power. Karen was used to everyone being too scared to stand up to her. But I wasn't going to let it slide. Week after week, she kept at it. Sometimes she'd push my can late at night. Other times, right before the garbage truck arrived, ensuring my trash didn't even get picked up. I started noticing she did it to others too, but they stayed quiet. She fined them for weeds in their lawns, for leaving holiday decorations up one day too long. She ruled through intimidation. I realized complaining wouldn't stop her. I needed proof, and more than that, I needed revenge. So I got to work in my garage. I built a trash can that looked completely normal but wasn't. Inside, I rigged a motion-triggered spray system loaded with the most revolting, foul-smelling skunk spray I could find. Hunters used it to mask human scent, but I knew it would be perfect for my plan. I also upgraded my cameras. Not just my doorbell, and I added hidden high-definition units with night vision and wide angles. I wanted every angle, every second captured. When trash day came again, I wheeled the can to the curb. It looked ordinary, blending in with everyone else's. But inside, it was a trap. That evening, my phone buzzed with a camera notification. I opened the live feed, and there she was. Karen, in her bathrobe and slippers, strutting down the street like she owned it. She glanced around and then walked straight to my bin. With her smug little smirk, she shoved it. This time, the lid flipped open. PSSHHT. A jet of skunk spray blasted her full in the face. Her scream pierced the night. She staggered back, gagging, flailing her arms, stumbling straight into the gutter. She rolled around, shrieking like she'd been attacked by a wild animal. I sat on my couch, laughing so hard I nearly cried. Every glorious second was caught in crystal-clear HD. The fallout was immediate. The next morning, the neighborhood was buzzing. People whispered about the mystery smell that clung to Karen. No matter how much perfume she drowned herself in, she stank. For days, she walked around like a skunk in a cardigan. Of course, she stormed over to my house, pounding on my door. "You set me up. This is harassment." I calmly held up my phone. "Looks more like vandalism to me. Want me to send this to the police?" Her face drained of color. For the first time, Karen didn't have a comeback. At the next HOA meeting, she tried to regain control. She banged her gavel, demanding stricter trash rules, even trying to fine me for creating hazards. That's when I stood up and calmly plugged my laptop into the projector. The room watched in silence as Karen strutted up to my trash can, knocked it over, and got blasted in the face. Then the silence broke. Laughter erupted, and then something amazing happened. Neighbors started speaking up. She knocked mine over, too. She dumped paint on my sidewalk once. She fined me for leaving Christmas lights up one day too long. For years, people had been silent, but now, with proof, they found their voices. Karen's face turned beet red. That night, the board voted to remove her as president. Effective immediately, she screamed, threatened lawsuits, even claimed it was all a conspiracy. But the evidence was undeniable. She was finished. Within weeks, her house went up for sale. She couldn't handle living in a neighborhood where no one feared her anymore. Now, trash day is peaceful. My bin stands tall and untouched. Neighbors smile and wave instead of whispering. HOA meetings are lighthearted, even fun. Sometimes, late at night, I pour myself a drink, pull up the video on my phone, and watch it again. Karen shrieking, stumbling into the gutter, reeking of skunk spray. It never gets old, and every time I remind myself, bullies only win until someone decides to fight back. Karen thought she could control everyone. She thought she was untouchable. But in the end, all it took was one trash can she definitely didn't see coming.